Now, can you do this?
Yes.
Is there any reason why you can't do the same thing? And you're never going to do it the same way, and you're going to be making up stuff, but is that helpful? How long did that take? We bumbled around at the
About
beginning, but how
15
long?
minutes.
15
minutes, something
minutes?
like that.
So is that doable? I mean, that's not excessive, is it? And of course you can shorten it if you want to. But my objective with this is this something that you can do? And if you don't have a physical catalog, you can probably get one. And if you are actively engaged in the business, either make sure you order it, make sure you put one in the catalog, in the orders of some of your customers who are ordering regularly, because there's a brand new one that's just been printed. I haven't even got it yet. So, but that's the new one that we just did online. So you can have this, you can keep it along with you, and you don't have to hand it out. If people go, oh my gosh, don't give me another catalog, especially at the holidays, because my mail is so full of all these different kinds of catalogs. No, you don't have to do that. You can just give them a link. They can do it online just like this. And they can also have it on their phone. So
I think it would be nice if you were doing an in-home with this to enlarge the health directory.
okay,
Like
yes.
on the table, because I do think that's a really interesting piece of information that people could take a closer look at. And because I'm sure everyone has their own interest, like the vegetarian and stuff. So that might be a nice thing to kind of enlarge.
Yeah,
You know,
and a
that's
lot
a
of
very
people
good
would,
idea, Susan.
a lot of people would, if you simply print that from the image of the catalog open to that page in the first place, it will print directly on an 8.5 by 11 sheet and then
Or
laminate
have
it
that, yeah,
and give it to people.
yeah,
Excellent.
that would be
Excellent.
great. Yeah,
Excellent. Now, the other thing that you can do, like you said, if this is an in-home or you're meeting somebody, you see them for coffee, you're, picking up the kids at school or whatever, and you want to just do something casually. The other thing that you can have with you is the sheet that's called Which Products Do You Use? And that is a two-sided piece, so that as we are introducing them to, now they perhaps know about 3 or 4 products. But when you go through which products do you use, now you have a kind of a guide that says, oh, gee, maybe I could try this. And I like letting people know that, particularly with the environmental, with the green products, that they're really ridiculously inexpensive if you use them correctly. You're going to spend more for them when you buy them, but you're not going to buy them all the time. And you're also not going to have to, I love the fact that I don't have to go through that cleaners aisle in the grocery store. You could find that cleaners aisle blindfolded, couldn't you? You would, you could be absolutely blind, and they would walk you through and that's it, I can smell it. You go right in the middle of that, and your senses get assaulted by all the different smells and fragrances you don't have to go through that line anymore. And so with just a very small handful of concentrated products, you can have these at home and mix them up yourself, and they are ridiculously inexpensive, besides which they work, and they're wonderful and simple to use. So okay, yes. Yes,
So
comments, questions.
I was going to ask you about which products do you use? When we first started this, and Barbara was teaching Kay and I how she did a nutrition program, she would say, we're going to spend probably 25 to 30% of the meeting at the beginning going around to each person and saying, tell me what kinds of things might you be looking out for, what you're interested in learning more about. Tell me, how's it? Oh, vitamin C. Okay, that's good. So she'd write it down. And so by the time you're a third of the way into the meeting, she's gone around the table, and then she begins, so that when it comes to the end, she's saying, now here, Jane, here's what you said, and here, Bill, here's a couple of options for you. My question has to do with, if we're going to do, say, a new member presentation and or love that, a new member presentation, and it's going to be a walk through the product guide like you've just done, which is so great. Would it make sense to have people kind of check that first to say, because I know Marty always says, just go through all these products, just real quick, like check the things that you use every month, you and your family. If we did that and then say, let me take you through the product guide, would that be too much, or what do you think?
No, I think that's an excellent idea. And if you have that option, I think that's excellent because this checklist is, who in the world they may or may not be using a lot of things in the nutritional category, but they certainly are using some things, maybe they're using something for energy, maybe they're using something for hydration, maybe they're looking at a weight loss program. Maybe they have kids at home with the kids' products. And certainly when you get into these products, you get into household and laundry, there's nobody that can't be using some of these things. We can't function without them. And so what if we take advantage of that? But I think that's an excellent idea, Richard. And I think this is something that really can get printed or handed out with you when you first do an overview. And incidentally, you can download this, sheet, and you can put that onto your phone app. So if you want to make that something that you let people see, you can send them that information.
Where do we download that from?
Well, let's see. The simplest thing that I did is I put this, I believe, in the PW. I think we put it into the PWN partners. So let me look and see if it's there. That's what I was trying to have a place that
I know we had it. I just can't remember where.
Yep, I'm just trying to remember too. So let's see.
Partners.com.
No, it's a Facebook page.
It's a
The
Facebook.
Facebook page
Right.
is PWN Partners. And let me see if I've got it down.
Probably
here.
under
And-
files, isn't it?
And it's under files, and it's actually there, which is just totally brilliant of all of us, isn't it?
Nice work.
Okay, so here you go. It is, here you go. PWN Partners on Facebook. And if you go into files, your
Yes.
Member loyalty overview, an overview of your story. This is another sheet that I used. I've had a commitment to have a new customer or a new connection at least once a day. And so we took this to our Eddie's physician, his eye doctor. Well, I can't get it to open here. Let me see what I have to do. Okay. So this is my prevention and treatment sheet, and I gave this to our physician because it turned out that he said that he and his wife were very interested in preventive things. So I gave him this along with a little care package, and I said, over here, this is my job, and over here, this is your job. And we're glad we have you for the medical side, but this is our job. And when we look at this, these are our responsibilities. These are our family habits. These are the choices that we make on food and lifestyle. And the good thing about this is we always know that there's side benefits as we make these choices, and we get long-term sustained results from the choices that we're making lifestyle-wise. Over here, this is the treatment side. And this is what we're grateful that we have our medical professionals. They have their pharmaceuticals and all of the wonders of the medicine, but all of those are going to have side effects, and they are probably going to have targeted results that over time may decrease in value or have other side effects. And so our objective is to take on our personal responsibility. we're in the business of preventive health care. So we work in partnership, but our objective is to stay over here as long as we can. And when we go over there, to make an immediate round trip as soon as we can to get back over here. Unfortunately, what we get to know is for many people, once they get over here, they get stuck. And this becomes a never-ending circle of, gee, I started you on this and now you've got a side effect, so now you need this other medication, and you end up with this circular thing over here. So I like to use this just as an introduction to why our focus is really over here on the prevention and treatment. So that's one of the sheets that's on there that you can download. But I love the idea of having this in your catalog and having which products do you use in the catalog, and really starting out that way. I like that a lot. Thanks a lot for that idea, Richard. What I have found that's really helpful about this is jumping to the back of the catalog, because what we tend to do when we're opening up something is we go through and we get all these products, and it's kind of like we get into overload, and then, oh, by the way. So that's why I like jumping to the back and letting them see resources, letting them see there's lots of other things. But then this is a good way to start, is just start on your basic program.
It is helpful because then you can ask them, what they'd like to do next. And sometimes then they're like, okay, well, what are the perks? And then if they're up for it, or they're the type of person who's like, okay, well, how do I get, like if you spend this much money, you get this kind of, then you can talk about the loyalty piece, and that there's never any shipping if you order $150, and all those little ways you can save money and get to use more product.
Yep. Yep.
So
absolutely.
And help them set that up and see what that's all about. So
absolutely.
The best part of those loyalty points, well, there's a couple of good things, but the very best part is that nobody wants to lose them. And if you miss a month, then you go back to zero on the percentage, you're starting over, and you got to do 6 months before you get out of the 5% back.
Oh, wow.
The 10 and then the 15, and they don't want to lose that. So,
yep.
And if you miss an order, then they're gone. So it's like, they're not doing that.
This is one of the best loyalty programs.
Yeah.
Any industry that I've seen,
Yeah.
You go into the, a farm and fleet type of place down here, and they say, you want to get in the rewards program? I say, well, what happens? They go, well, if you get 200 points, you get $5 off. I go, no, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I have 10,000. It's like Japanese yen compared to the dollar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing. And so this is so powerful, because you're telling your customer that this gives you an additional 15% off. That's, and when you get 15% off and you accumulate it for a month or two, you're talking about you're getting Vivix for nothing.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys have heard me say that I just had a customer 2 days ago who I happened to notice, within 7 days, you're going to lose your 97 points or something like that. And so I contacted her and I said, I haven't talked to you for a long time, but do you realize you got like $95 worth of free products, but you're gonna, do you realize that? So next thing I know, she puts an order in and she says, and I got all my freebies, which is great. So now she gets on that routine. But that one of the things that I like to suggest to people is, rather than using those free products for your core products, use those free products for the gifts and for the extras, because that's where you can get the tea and the snacks and the energy chews and those kinds of things that they don't have much PV. You're probably, and what I do is I use that goodie sheet, which I think is probably if it's not in that Facebook page, I made up a sheet that's called goodies. And the goodies are the things that, and what I did, let me see if I have it. You see
Yeah.
this is my goodie sheet.
Nice.
And so the goodie sheet, what I did with this is, these are the things that I like to use for the the goodies, for the loyalty things. So you can have tea, you can have the boost, the energy boost. And what I did with this is I print this up. I print it two-sided, and then I staple one of these on here. I staple a tea or a couple of teas. I staple the immunity boost. I staple a couple of the energy boosts, and then you can give them, a couple of the chews or whatever you want to, and snacks or, and incidentally, I've forgotten about the snack crisps, but I use those for crackers. Instead of going and buying crackers at the store, I like these crisps and I
Yep.
use them with cheese or, with a dip. I will post this so you can find this if you want to use it. But, all right. Well, thanks, you guys. This is our working group. I hope this is helpful. And Erna, we still haven't connected. If you would like to, please reach out to me and we will find a good time. We will do your recording time. All right. Well, thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Being with us,
Thank you.
I expect everybody to be able to do this now. This is not rocket science.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody. Good
very
to be
much.
with you.
Thank you.
Take
Thank you.
care.